Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Nama Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasyatya Desatarine He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivashadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langhayate Girim Yat Kripa Tamaham Bande Shri Guru Dinatarinam Shri Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Mishwaram. Hare Krishna. So last class we were seeing how Krishna is the only person who is worth taking shelter of, and the demigods were glorifying Krishna before his appearance in front of them. And we took up one verse where the demigods were glorifying, telling that, "O Krishna, anyone who is trying to take shelter of anything else or anyone else without you are simply taking shelter of the tail of a dog." And we didn't elaborate on why dog. We said that we will elaborate, but the time was not there. Today we will do some analysis about dogs. It's important that to understand why it is dog, why not cow. Cow is a sacred animal, and Srimad Bhagavatam is sacred scripture. It must mention about cow or donkey, or if it has to be someone very lower grade animal, then donkey. Why not? Why dog? This is very, very important. In Odisha, when in Puri, there is to be every year there will be news about so many people, especially in the New Year time and also in the puja time, vacation time. There will be so many news of people coming to visit Puri, going to the sea, taking bath in the sea, and getting drowned. And the getting drowned in a sea is very, very complicated affair, because you see, if you get drowned in a pond or something, then it's a different thing. But when we take bath in sea and you are not able to control yourself and you are getting drowned, the sea water pushes so much of sand on your in your that windpipe and all those things that you practically get choked and you die. So it's very, very difficult experience, and very, very it's a calamity. But interestingly, the statistics, they say that out of all the people who get drowned in sea, most of them are those people who are expert swimmers. Interesting. Those who are expert swimmers, they get drowned in the sea. Why? And this is what the demigods are referring here when they are referring to the tail of a dog. And Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Srila Prabhupada, they also mention about it. Now we see a swimmer, where he learns swimming, what is his training ground, what is the ground where he is doing swimming. It's all either a pond or a river, and he gains some confidence or overconfidence that because I am able to swim across a river or a very very current of a river, or I am able to swim in a pond, I can swim in a sea also. And that overconfidence of the swimmer leads to his disaster while swimming across an ocean. And this is what the tail of dog means. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur especially mentions that the tail of dog means the dog is confident that because he has swim or a person sees the dog swimming across the river, swimming across the pond, and he thinks that I can take shelter of the dog to swim across the ocean. This is the foolishness of a person who thinks like this. And Srila Prabhupada and all our acharyas have compared that many of the people who in this world want to give shelter, they can give shelter in some little bit different aspects of life. Like you see a father can give some amount of shelter to son, or mother can give, the sisters can give, the brothers can give, all these people can offer some shelter. But to consider that they can offer the real shelter to cross one from the Bhava Sindhu, the ocean of material existence, is foolishness. Is like considering that if I take shelter of a dog, tail of a dog, then I can move across this ocean. So that is what it is, that the dog is overconfident, or someone seeing the dog becomes or puts illusory faith on the tail of the dog, that just because he is able to cross a pond, I can use him to cross the ocean. In this world, no one can offer us any shelter to cross the Bhava Sindhu. Especially this world is called Mrityu Loka, the ocean of death. No one can help. All of you who have joined today, can anyone claim that my wife loves me, my husband loves me, my son, my daughter loves me, they will go with me at the time of death? Yes, anyone? No one. And this truth, not just because you have been attending classes for so long, you completed Bhagavad Gita, and now you are so nicely doing Srimad Bhagavatam. Some people are light little bit here and there, happening, coming sometimes, not coming sometimes, but you are not doing Srimad Bhagavatam, and you are telling no. It's not that others are also telling yes. You ask anyone, any damn person in this world, he will tell that yes, Swamiji, at the time of death, neither my father, nor my mother, nor my sister, nor my brother, no one can actually go with me. I have to go alone. So, this is the truth that demigods are speaking, that it is only Krishna who can help us in this journey from one life to the next life. Some people can help us in this journey of this life at some phase of our life, But at all phases of our life, at all times of our life, it's only Krishna. And that is why real friendship, real well-wisher is one who actually connects us to Krishna. And that is why Srila Prabhupada used to always sign your ever well-wisher. So the Guru who without any um, without any other consideration connects his or her disciple to Krishna, understanding that Krishna is the only person worth taking shelter of, is the real well-wisher of every living entity. And that's how the demigods are praying, that anyone who does that is simply taking shelter of a tail of a dog. And going ahead, then Vishnu appears, and when Vishnu appears, then the demigods again offer their prayers. And this time the demigods are praying that, because the demigods saw that in front of the place where nothing was there. And it's not that Vishnu came in a flight and got down in the flight, and then there was immigration department checking, oh, you came from Vaikuntha, let us check. And it's not that Vishnu has to show the visa and stamp the visa, and then he has to get down from the Garuda Airlines, and as he gets down, then there are people who will salute him. In this world, even the president and the prime minister has to do all these things of the airport and all those things, and at least he has to have an airlines. At least he will be seen that he is coming. And Vishnu just appeared. This disproves the fact that God doesn't have a personal form. God has a personal form. And at any place, just because he is omnipresent, that doesn't mean that he doesn't have a personal form. He is present everywhere. He knows everything about every person. Vedaham samatittani, vartamanani cha bhavishyani. He knows everything of Vartaman, Bhavishya, and past, present, future, everything. But that doesn't mean that he doesn't have a form. And he doesn't have to, he can manifest his personal form at any place. This is a very important principle that we devotees must understand, and especially when we understand Srimad Bhagavatam, is understanding the personality of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Srimad Bhagavatam in itself, Padma Puran says, is the Supreme Lord Himself. The first and second canto are the two lotus feet of the Lord, and then the third and fourth canto, the legs of the Lord, and fifth canto is the navel of the Lord. Sixth cantos are the chest of the Lord. Seventh canto is the bahu of the arms of the Lord. Eighth canto is the neck. Ninth, the neck of the Lord. Seventh and eighth are the arms of the Lord. The ninth canto is the neck of the Lord, and the 10th canto is the beautiful, blooming face of the Lord. And 11th and 12th are the forehead of the Lord, head and forehead. In this way, Padma Puran describes Srimad Bhagavatam as the Supreme Lord Himself. And just to help you understand, and just like Srimad Bhagavatam, Supreme Lord manifested with the wonderful prayers of the demigods, similarly Srimad Bhagavatam can only manifest when Srimad Bhagavatam sees that intense eagerness in our lives to approach Him. Srimad Bhagavatam is not a book. It's not it, it's him. You understand between it and him? Srimad Bhagavatam एक वस्तु नहीं है. It's not a book or a thing. It's a person. Just like if I come to some of your house and then I'm just sitting and you come very late to meet, and after long time of waiting then you come and then you are talking with your wife and I am just sitting and you are talking with your wife as if I am not existing at all. And then I interrupt, oh Prabhuji, I came to meet with you. Okay, Prabhuji, sit down. Already you have been waiting for 2 hours. Why can't you wait for more half an hour? Let me talk with my wife. And in front of me he is talking with his wife and giving no attention. How do you feel? You feel offended. So exactly in the same way, Srimad Bhagavatam is a person. Just like Vishnu is manifesting out of air, he is everywhere. He is omnipresent, but his personal form is completely covered by his Yogamaya Sakti. Naham prakasa sarvasva yogamaya samabrita mudhoyam navijanati. Krishna is visible in his personal form only whom he desires. So Srimad Bhagavatam, the knowledge of Srimad Bhagavatam only manifests in the heart of a eager, sincere, serious seeker of devotion. Until unless we are seeking pure devotion, Srimad Bhagavatam will never manifest its personality. We will remember the verses of Srimad Bhagavatam. We may quote the verses of Srimad Bhagavatam to others, like there are so many Bhagavat Kathakars. And they will give big Bhagavat Kathas. And at the end, bargain with the Yajman for pennies of money. And you said you will give 1 crore and you just giving 80 lakhs. What about the 20 lakhs remaining? And this person says, oh, somehow other in the arrangements there was little more costly. That's why I'm able to only give 80 lakhs. And they'll bargain. So if they are reading or speaking Srimad Bhagavatam so nicely that people cry in their Bhagavad Katha. If you hear the Samskar channel and all these channels, really the way they speak, I don't think I cannot speak like them. I do not have, I'm useless. I'm like a housefly, makhi, in front of the bumblebee kathakars of the Sanskar channel. Like someone said to me, ki Prabhu, ras hona chahiye, ras. Katha mein ras aana chahiye. And then they give so much of rasa, and then there is so much of people who are playing different types of instruments and poppy, and when they're pom, and then there is background music going on about when the katha is going on, and people are just sitting, wow. But let us understand the simple fact that Srimad Bhagavatam is not a book that we can get educated of. It is Krishna himself who can be only realized by a serious, sincere seeker of devotion. It will never manifest in our hearts. It will never going to manifest in our hearts until unless we are seriously seeking devotion, and that too pure devotional service. And we can see later on how the demigods are being, what they are being advised by Lord Vishnu. So Lord Vishnu is present everywhere and we are not able to see him, and he's not coming from the Garuda Airlines and getting down, he just manifests. Like Veer Narasimha Prabhu is in Kota, and imagine I am sitting here in Zoom and then I just disappear from Calcutta, and now you are seeing from the and I'm wow, and just imagine how nice it would be, huh? And then now the spotlight is on Calcutta, and then the spotlight will be on Kota, and then I'm there. Oh, wow, it's really amazing. This will not happen. But Vishnu can do that. Sometimes he comes from Garuda whenever he wants to really show his grandeur, majesty and all. He comes down in Garuda. But sometimes when he really wants to bewilder and really wants to show his mystic powers, he just manifests. And when Lord Vishnu manifested like this, the first prayer, that's why if you see after Lord manifested, the first prayer the demigods are offering, very interestingly, they are telling that, oh Lord, it is simply impossible to understand the activities of yours. Who can understand? You're coming from Vaikuntha and we didn't see the plane. We didn't see the Nanda Sunanda. We didn't see Garuda. You just manifested in your personal form. How difficult it is to understand your activities. From where did you manifest? How the oxygen and nitrogen of whatever the gaseous state, whatever the scientists are telling, how it became you, whose body is completely spiritual. How can I understand? And these are demigods. They are the in charges of these elements. And they are speaking like this. That, oh Lord, this place was filled with some oxygen, nitrogen, some atmosphere, or maybe vacuum, or whatever those elements. And now it is you. And after some time, it is not you. Again, it is oxygen, nitrogen, and we are able to talk with you. And you are talking with us, and we are paying Dandavat, and you are smiling, and it's like, how? So difficult to understand your activities. It's practically impossible. For us, the demigods, what to speak of those people who are foolishly in the earthly planets? How they can understand your activities? And then the demigods, they give two examples. They give two examples to illustrate the fact that how difficult is to understand the activities of the Supreme Personality of the Godhead. The first example is quite, I can relate because I have gone through that experience. The first example is just like a son who is born after the parents can never witness the marriage of the parents, the romantic affairs of the parents, because it has happened before. Yeah. Right? Like I was seeing one time the album and it was a black and white album of my mother's marriage, and I asked so foolishly my mother, why did you invite me for the marriage? I am seeing everyone. I am seeing my uncles, I am seeing everyone, they're so young. I wanted to see them so young, and why I am not there? What my mother will say, you're not there. I don't know where you were when I was getting married. Yes. So similarly, the demigods are telling, just like someone who is born after the parents cannot understand how he is born and the activities of the parents, similarly, we are born after you. You created the elements, you created the machine, and you gave us the knowledge how to operate the machine, and that's it. Like, for example, this is my example. This is not demigod's example. This is my example. Just like the farmers, the most foolish farmers, or uneducated about foolish. Farmers are also, now farmers protest is going on. They are intelligent. They are intelligent. Foolish in the sense that they have not studied engineering and the technical subject matters, and they know the technical details of farming, but they may not be knowing the technical details of semiconductors, technical details of how the smartphone and how the touch screen is working and everything, but still they use it very nicely. And for whatever they are doing, they are using the Facebook and technology to spread their message, correct? And that's how we are getting their message. Messages after messages about what they're doing. Now, they don't know the technical details of the subject matter, but they're using it. And if we ask them, we don't know. We are simple farmers. We know how to grow wheat and rice and brinjal and all those things. We don't know this, but we use it. Similarly, the demigods are telling, you created the universe, you created the water cycle and gave to Varuna. And Varuna is just managing the water cycle. It's a complicated cycle of how the water is getting transformed into various phases, and Varuna is just managing. He doesn't know how the water came, and he doesn't know how the water cycle came, how the knowledge to handle the water cycle came, and he's just managing. Indra is managing the demigods. Sun manifested with you, and you gave sun god the sun. The sun god doesn't know the intricate details how the sun is managing. The sun god doesn't know. He cannot explain the details of what is the fission and fusion of what is going on in the sun ball and what is happening. No idea. I do not have time. I am fine with my bhakti. The sun god is worshipping Surya Narayan, and that's how the Chhat Puja is actually helping sun god, or it's actually a puja of Lakshmi Narayan. Now it has been transformed to worshipping the sun god, which is not right. It is actually the worship of Lakshmi Narayan. Sun god is constantly worshipping Narayan, and he doesn't really need to find out how the sun is moving and what is happening and the intricate details. Just like a farmer, he may use the Facebook and all those things without knowing the intricate details about it. And that's how the demigods are praying to Krishna, that we are born and you gave us the system, we are managing the system, but we really don't know how these systems are created. And that's how we are ignorant of. Now one may say that, there are some people who don't even think that they're ignorant. They try to claim that they know everything. The scientists, some of the scientists, they say, humko sab pata hai. They so proudly tell that there is no God, there is no one. And then the demigods again offer prayers, giving a second example. That even if some of the people, they claim that they know everything of this world, their knowledge is just like a person trying to analyze a rope as a snake and giving conclusions that how the rope is actually a snake because this person is in darkness and he's touching, oh, it's a snake, and he's not able to see, oh, snake, you see, this is the tail, oh, this is the fangs, oh, snake, snake, and he's making theses about snake and like that. And the demigods are explaining that everyone, including us, the big scientists of this world, they are in complete darkness. And they are making thesis after thesis telling the rope as a snake. And that is the extent of the knowledge. And then they are giving a lot of conclusions, misinterpretations, interpretations, not just about you, about this world. Like many of the scientists tell that this world has no creator. Some scientists say that this world had a creator, but now the creator actually is dead and gone, and this world is functioning by its automatically. This is the second batch of scientists. The third batch of scientists, they're telling there is no creator, there is no, this is just came by chance, it will go by chance, and sometimes we are here foolishly, so much of conclusions. And then some of the scientists, they say that these people who are worshipping the God, there is no God. And even if God is there, there is some energy, and they are just imagining this form as God, and foolishly they are worshipping some stone or statue as God. This is all foolish. Making such conclusions, interpretation, misinterpretations, and the demigods are telling that you can only be realized in the hearts of pure devotees. And here is the turning point of prayers of the demigods. The demigods are praying that Paribrajakai. If you read the translation of one of the verses, the demigods are mentioning that Paribrajakai. You can only be understood by Paribrajakai, the great sannyasis. Paribrajaka, the great pure devotees, Paramhamsas, can only understand you. None can other than them claim that they can understand you. And it is only by your mercy they can understand you. So why don't you become pure devotees? And then the demigods are praying that, oh Lord, you know everything. You know past, present, future. You know why we are approaching you. You will be realized by the pure devotees. Anyone who offers you prayers does not even look after the material reflection, which is simply a reflection. And your good self is the original diamond, and this material world is simply a reflection. The happiness of this world is simply a reflection. The happiness in spiritual world is the actual reality. And we know all these things, oh my Lord. We know that you know everything. But still we have come that please kill Vritrasura and give us our material abodes. Hare Krishna. We know that you can only be realized by pure devotees. We know that the reality of life is this material world, our material abodes, and whatever we are enjoying, this is all simply a reflection, nothing else. It's all useless. And we also know that why we have come here. Why we have come here, we know. And we know that you know that why we have come here. And though we know that it is not required for us to pray what we need, but still we are praying that give us back. And Biswanath Chakravarti Thakur tells that how foolish are these demigods. First of all, they took the holy name of the Lord and used the holy name of the Lord for getting their material things. It is just like going to taking $1,000 note and getting a 1 rupee chocolate out of it. And now they are going directly in front of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And they are knowing everything. They are knowing about how the material world is simply a reflection. They are knowing about how the goal of life is to worship the Lord in pure devotion. They are knowing about how Lord knows everything and is not required to pray to the Lord for anything of this world. And still they are asking, please kill Vritrasura and give us our material abodes. And this is the difference between pure devotees and the demigods. And Srimad Bhagavatam amplifies this difference and shows it to us. In all other Puranas, Padma Purana, everywhere, and also in all other Puranas, you will not find this amplification, this knowledge which being amplified. Vritrasura Leela is mentioned in Padma Purana also. And many of the Puranas speak about this Leela of Vritrasura. But why did other Puranas, if they mention about Vritrasura Leela, why did other Puranas mention that Srimad Bhagavatam is that Purana which mentions Vritrasura Leela? Because Srimad Bhagavatam explains the real meaning of this Vritrasura Leela. And the real meaning, see, to approach Vishnu for one's material benefits is perfectly okay. There's nothing wrong. Rather, Vishnu himself has considered them as Sukritino. Yes, Chaturvidha bhajante mam jana Sukritino Arjuna artho artharthi jigyashu jnani cha bharatashrava. That those people who approach me for wealth, for getting rid of their distressed things of their life, or for some curiosity or for some knowledge, they are all great souls. They are Sukritino, they are pious people. And all other Puranas, all other scriptures, their level, they stick with this much only. They glorify the demigods. Oh, just see the demigods. They give a difference between devotees and demons. They amplify the difference between demigods and the demons. सुर और असुर के बीच में जो पार्थक्य है, the difference between the demigods and demons are being amplified in all other scriptures. But the difference between a demigod and a pure devotee is being amplified and glorified in Srimad Bhagavatam. That is why Srimad Bhagavatam is said to be Paramahamsa Samhita. That literature which makes you a Paramahamsa. How many of you want to be a Paramahamsa? Oh my goodness. First of all, you have to come regularly for Srimad Bhagavatam classes. I see so many people missing the classes, and it was like so painful to my heart. In the beginning of when we started the first class, it was jam-packed. Rather, we were telling that don't come for Srimad Bhagavatam classes. No, I will hear the classes. Please register me, please register me, please register me. And I was telling, no, don't get registered. It will. No, please register me, please register me. And there's so much of calls, and then just only for how many, what is this number of sessions? This is 6th session or 7th or 8th, I don't know. Tarun Prabhu makes the numbers. So and we can see it's the 9th session, and in just 9th session, in the single digit session, we can see the eagerness to understand Srimad Bhagavatam has faded away. And this is a very serious subject matter, Srimad Bhagavatam. This is the only literature in the entire creation which brings about the difference between a demigod, a pious person, and a pure devotee. This is the only literature. All other literatures, the Vedas, the Vedangas, the Upavedas, the Upanishads, the Puranas, all other Puranas, the 17 other Puranas, every Purana has a goal, and the goal is to tell the difference between piety and impiety. The difference between what is pious and what is impious. The difference between the demigods and demon. And proclaim, loudly proclaim and advocate, become a demigod. You see what is like the same pastime, the purports and the lesson that is being derived from Vritrasura Leela in all other scriptures is, you see, what do you think you'd like to become? A demigod or a demon? You see, the demons are doing all their things to get all the opulence of this world. But Vishnu is snatching all these opulences and giving it to demigods. Better become a pious person. Don't break the laws of God. Because if you follow the laws of God, God Himself will come and offer you everything and you can enjoy. Why you are grabbing and trying to exploit God's resources? Why don't you approach God? He will give you all the resources. You just have to do one thing, follow the laws of God. You will save so much of endeavor. And even if you endeavor, you see the demons are endeavoring. What they are achieving? Ultimately, Vishnu is snatching everything and not giving them anything. Only Tenga. Just read the Samudra Manthan Leela. You see the Vritrasura Leela. You see the Leela with Hiranyakashipu, Ravan. What is happening? All other scriptures based the primemost lesson, the topmost lesson that finally they derive is this: become a demigod, become pious, follow the laws of God and the laws of creation. But only Srimad Bhagavatam speaks about the difference between a pious person and a pure devotee, a demigod and a pure devotee, Paramahamsa. And Paramahamsa is one who does not aspire to follow the laws of material creation so that he can enjoy the material creation, which is simply a reflection. Rather, he enjoys, relishes in serving the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The demigod, they relish enjoying this world, and for that they follow Vishnu. They are great souls. But the pure devotees, they simply want to serve the Lord and relish and enjoy the service to the Lord, and the Lord simply wants to serve the pure devotees and relish and enjoy serving his pure devotees. And the Lord simply wants everyone to come back and join his abode. There is no business involved other than mutual service. No one, the Lord is not even thinking like, there are many reasons why I became like this. So many people, like every time I meet with some people, the first question they will ask is, Swamiji, why did you become like this? And there are, I'm really in thinking that I will write a small essay on why I became like this, on bullet points, and 1, 2, 3, 4. And whenever people ask, I can just share in WhatsApp the PDF and you read it and you'll understand why did I become. And there are many reasons. There's a lot of reasons. But one reason I saw, how in these marriages and then all these things, there used to be records maintained that which person came to our house and gave which quality of gift, and what was the price of that gift, and what was the market valuation of that gift, and then we should give back when we are going in there some function, that much at least minimum we must give, and all this valuation. And I was telling, is this relationship? This is simply valuation. And there is no valuation and evaluation in any relationship. Relationships means it's beyond valuation and evaluations. And that's how the demigods are actually failing in their prayers to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And because the demigods, the pious people, though they are following the laws of God perfectly, who is qualified to become a demigod is one who follows the laws of God perfectly. Indra, he broke the law and he took voluntary repentance. Yes, we saw. He broke the law of killing his guru, and yes, he said, my goodness, it was impulsive, and he accepted, and he did penances, and he took the reactions. And a demon will never do that. Demon will say, maine to sahi kiya hai. He will do the wrong, he will break the law, and he will say, I have done the right thing. And a demigod, if he will never do the wrong. In Indra's history of 71 Divya Yugas, Indra is Indra for 71 Divya Yugas. In the tenure of 71 Divya Yugas, Indra just made mistake 3-4 times. That's it. One Divya Yuga is 43 lakh years. 71 into 43 lakh years, Indra just made 3 to 4 mistakes. We make more than 20, 25 or 100 mistakes every day. So we have no right to criticize Indra for killing the Guru and her. We offend Guru every day 10 times minimum. Every week. Every day. Every week I will not elaborate on this. All of you are intelligent, you can understand. But Indra is just once in a mantara in 71 Divya Yugas, he's just offending 3, 4, 5 times, and that is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam. And no other scriptures mentions about it. So that's why he's a demigod. And we are half demon, half demigod. All of you are full demigods. I am fully demon. So like we are. But demigod is one who follows the laws of God very, very perfectly, like Indra. Or even if he breaks, he will accept his mistake at once. No one went to Indra for counseling. You will see. People went to Ravana for counseling and gave him such advice, and Ravana rejected all the good counseling and said that you are all wrong, I am all right. Yes. But you see the character of Indra, the character of a demigod. He never required any counseling by any experts to come to the conclusion that he made a wrong. He did a mistake. This is the standard of demigod. If someone has to tell us that we made a mistake, then we must understand that we have not come to the level of a demigod even. If we require serious counseling and follow-up to tell us that we are doing mistake, then that is actually demoniac nature that is present within our heart. A demigod is one who doesn't require any counsel. He does mistake. Demigods do mistake. But they don't require any follow-up, any counseling. Their conscience and their relationship with their Paramatma is so strong, and they have been following the laws of God so strongly that they will themselves, without any counseling, without any advice by anyone, come to the right conclusion that I did a mistake and I must repent and do some tapasya and prayaschit for atoning my mistake. So just imagine how far we are from the level of being a demigod. Demigod means no hypocrisy. Indra, in front of everyone, the entire assembly who was glorifying him with so many of poetry, declared openly that just see what a big mistake I did of offending Brihaspati. In front of all the entire assembly, he proclaimed that just see what mistake I did of killing this Biswarup, who actually helped me and again gain back the kingdom. I will now do 1 year of tapasya, and after 1 year he again declared, I have some reactions left. Please, anyone would like to share? And then these 4 people came up and yes, me. Will you give some blessings also? Yes. But just imagine the honesty of Indra. How honest is Mr. Indra? And that's a demigod. They do mistakes, they really screw up things sometimes, they screw up their life, they mess up their life because of their material attachments and all, but they are seriously honest in presenting themselves as not pure. They are not hypocritical. A demon is hypocritical, trying to be duplicitous, trying to show something and what he is not. The demigods are so honest, so much honest that they are telling to Vishnu that, oh Vishnu, we know that this material world is simply an illusion, it's simply a reflection of what is the reality of spiritual world, but we are approaching you with a material thing. So we must understand first the position of a demigod. And all other Puranas, they end their discussion right at this point. And that is why Narad Muni, in the beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam, he chastised Vyasdev that you are simply trying to take people, elevate people to the level of demigod, and beyond that, you are telling that there is no reality. And that is why you are dissatisfied. You write and give lessons showing the reality of the difference between a demigod and a Paramahamsa, between devotional service and pure devotional service, between devotional service and loving devotional service, where there is no business involved. No business, no evaluation. Krishna never evaluates anything when he deals with his pure devotees. No evaluation at all. Yudhishthir Maharaj and the Pandavas are simply wanting Krishna to become messenger. Krishna is ready, I am messenger. For becoming a charioteer, Krishna is ready, I'll become your charioteer. For becoming their advisor, Krishna is ready as advisor. For relative, Krishna is ready as the relative. Krishna is just a puppet in the hands of his pure devotees. Just we spent the entire Kartik month worshipping Mother Yashoda. Krishna simply became a puppet in front of the love of Mother Yashoda. Krishna simply becomes puppet in front of the love of the gopis. And we discussed all these stories of Lord Chaitanya, and the simple village girls of Navadvip used to sow some sweets, and the gopis used to sow some sweets to Krishna, and sowing those sweets, the gopis used to tell that, dance, Kana, dance. This sweet we will give you. And that person who is making everyone dance in his tune is dancing in the tune of the gopis for one insignificant sweet. He is the source of all sweetness, Raso Vaisa. And he's simply dancing, seeing the sweet. And then the gopis will take the sweet after Krishna has danced, and the Krishna will just cry, oh my sweet, I went sweet, my sweet, you took away my sweet, you cheated me, next time I will never dance. And then another gopi will say, oh, that sweet was inferior quality, big sweet, you see this sweet, Kana, dance now. And then Kana will dance and again dance, forgetting all the small sweet, oh, that was inferior, and dance. And then when Krishna, after dancing, will try to grab that sweet, and then the gopi will, another gopi will grab that sweet and put it in her mouth, and then Krishna will again cry, oh, sorry, oh, that was not the right sweet. And then Krishna will say, today, the entire day, I will not dance for you. Because 2 times you did like this. I will steal from your house, but I will never dance for you. Then the gopis tell that, oh, you cannot steal because we have made very, very serious arrangements today. And then Krishna will do so much mischievous things just to prove that how you cheated me, not giving me sweet, I danced for you, now I will dance on your head. I will really make your life hellish. I will create such destruction in entire Braj. Oh, this is Krishna. No evaluation. And the gopis are also not evaluating. Pure relationships have no evaluation. Loving relationships, love has no evaluation or evaluation of what we are receiving and what we are giving. There is no evaluation. That is the sign of purity of a relationships. Any tinge of evaluation is actually a sign of serious impurity in relationships. And honestly enough, no material relationship can be based on this purity. Every material relationship is based on serious evaluations and revaluations. So much of revaluations during marriages. Status, the color of the skin, the money in the pocket, bank balance, parents, siblings, so much. But Krishna, he loves the gopis, no evaluation. The gopis are beautiful. He loves Sabri, no evaluation. Sabri is like, he looks. Sabri was not an old lady living in the city of Dwarka that she can afford to put some cream and bleach and facelifts and all. She was not a city old lady. The city old ladies, they really look young and they come for the programs. I see you. Oh, really, they put a lot of this and so many things, and sometimes I go to their houses when they are not attending program. I said, oh, this was the lady who came for the program. Wow, it's like a ocean of change. These are city old ladies. This is sorry for these analysis. Sometimes I make this analysis to understand the futility of material life. And so when they come to the programs, they are different. And when I go to the house to meet with them, they come, oh Swamiji, they're different. I said, my goodness, it's different. The pedicure and the manicure and the facicure and what all they put and there's so much of brushes and so much of powders and so much of cream, and then really they don't look old. Honestly, even if I'm a sannyasi, they really look beautiful and good. Hats off to the cosmetic industries. Really, they have really done research of how to make people look nice. But when I go to the houses and they come, oh Swamiji, you have come, and then they just now want to meet the Swamiji. So they are not interested about whatever, how they are looking. So, and then they look really, really bad. Really bad. Sometimes I go to houses of people where they have their marriage photographs, where big photographs, and then I see the reality and I see the pictures of marriage. I say, oh my goodness, there's a lot of change. Yes. Now Krishna was not approaching this was just to explain Sabri. Don't take it otherwise. Ladies love to decorate, and I really respect all the cosmetic industries. You can all nicely wear cosmetics. It is important to look beautiful. So, Krishna is not approaching a city lady who is having wrinkles and then he's putting so much of cosmetics and all. Krishna is approaching Sabri, who is 86-year-old woman and living in forest. And the devotion that Krishna is having, the attachment towards Sabri and Sabri towards Krishna is the same. The emotions are same, the feelings are same. No evaluation of beauty. Similarly, Krishna is approaching Yudhishthir with so much of devotion. And Krishna is approaching Sudama, who is pauper, with no evaluation. So Krishna, he loves his pure devotees, and no matter whatever may be their material situation, he just becomes a purchased servant of his pure devotees. And this is what Srimad Bhagavatam amplifies. Srimad Bhagavatam amplifies Krishna's relationship with Yudhishthir Maharaj and amplifies Krishna's relationship with Sudama. Amplifies Krishna's relationship with Vritrasura, who is a demon but a pure devotee. And shows that Srimad Bhagavatam is a book to take you from the level of a demigod to the level of a Paramahamsa. Whether you are living in city and putting all cosmetics, you can be a demigod or a Paramahamsa. And whether you are living in village, you can be a demigod or a Paramahamsa. It's not about what, how and where we are living, how we are living, whether we are applying some cosmetics or not. It's about the devotion. Sabri never did any makeup, and gopis used to do a lot of makeup. And Krishna loved both of them. Without evaluating the externals, Krishna loved. The gopis did makeup for serving Krishna, and Sabri didn't do makeup for serving Krishna. And the gopis offered wonderful prasadam, prepared very nicely, and Sabri offered some jhuta bear. And Krishna loved both of them without evaluating the material situations. So relationships, especially the purity of relationship, has no valuation, evaluation, revaluations. And in material world, it is impossible. Because the relationship in material world are simply illusory. The reality of relationship is the relationship of spiritual world. And Krishna, when he appears after the demigods speak all their prayers and offer that we want to get rid of this Vritrasura, Krishna speaks to the demigods, "Oh demigods, if anyone approaches me, he gets everything. But I am not pleased by someone who approaches me for material benefits. Anyone who just gets my darshan will get anyway everything. So what is the point in asking anything? You foolish demigods. Why you are asking about all these things? I am simply pleased by pure devotion. You people, you are knowing everything, the science behind pure devotional service, and still asking these material things, which is guna vastu drak, which is created by these gunas, these are all gunas are like waves of material reflection as creating these things, and you are simply approaching me. I can give you Vaikuntha, I can give you Vrindavan, the residence in Vrindavan, and you are approaching for these reflections. And you think I will bless you with all these things? I am not pleased. But still, because you have approached me, and anyone who approaches me will definitely get the thing that he has approached me, I will tell you how to get your things done and how to kill Vritrasura. So being a pious person, definitely we are pleasing Krishna because we are following his laws. But Krishna, Vishnu, is satisfied only when we offer pure devotion, and he gets an opportunity to lovingly reciprocate with us. Everyone, all of us are looking for love. The biggest businessman, their only fear in their life is that everyone approaches them for money. Everyone wants to relate with them for money. And they become so much thirsty for purity of love. Similarly, Krishna is thirsty for pure love. He's the man of the entire creation, not just material world, spiritual world, everything. But he's thirsty for pure love. And he's only pleased by pure love, and when he gets opportunity to express his pure love to people, to have all of us, to the living entities. So just by giving opportunity to Krishna to reciprocate with us with purity in the most loving way, we are pleasing Krishna the most. And this subject matter is the essence of this Vritrasura Leela. Vritrasura Leela, mentioned in all of the scriptures, offers us lessons of becoming a demigod. But Sukadeva Goswami, taking the same pastime of Vritrasura Leela, offers us the lesson and the striking difference between a demigod and a pure devotee, between pious devotional service and pure devotional service. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shri Shri Vritrasura Leela ki, Srimad Bhagavad Mahapurana ki jai. Anyone has any question? Yes, Udit Prabhu has raised his hands.
Hare Krishna, Guruji, Dhanavad Pranam.
Yes.
So one question is that we are all devotees, but we are trying to love Krishna.
Yes.
So how can we? I mean, you said we should not evaluate anything. I mean, in material relationships also, or in spiritual relationship with Krishna. So how to understand that Krishna is loving us, right? Because I mean, we are doing it, but still, we maybe we are not able to understand that Krishna is loving us. So can you please elaborate on that?
Yeah, um, so the question that Udit Prabhu is asking is very nice, that sometimes we try to evaluate Krishna's love in our lives based on material things that we get. If we get material things, we think Krishna loves us. And if material things are snatched away, then Krishna hates us. Oh, why did God did like this to me? He doesn't love me. And that is why we need the guidance of pure persons in our life who can show us the love of Krishna in adversities. To see the love of Krishna in prosperities is quite easy for pious people. Impious people don't even see Krishna's love in prosperity also. They consider prosperities because of their endeavors. I endeavored, I became prosperous. The pious people, they see Krishna's love, Krishna's blessings in their success. But when adversities come, and so long we are not come to the level of pure devotees, we need the help of pure persons, guidance of pure persons, shastras, the knowledge of shastras, to help us understand how this adverse situation is actually a blessing and love for Krishna in my life. And that's how we must understand. Hare Krishna, there is some sound from somewhere. Pavan can, and that is why we must understand the importance of spiritual guidance in our lives. So long we are not able to do this evaluation and we are not able to see Krishna's blessings at all situations in our lives, we must understand that I should be very, very, very much in synchronization with some pure person who can give me the right guidance. And it's a self-evaluation. Because guidance is when we approach. How do we know when to approach and when not to approach? So it's a self-evaluation that so long I am not able to see the compassionate hand of Krishna in adversities, I need guidance. Initially, I am not able to see the compassionate hand of Krishna even in prosperities. So I needed guidance. I have come to level of understanding that all the good things that are happening in my life is, all the success that is happening is all because of blessings of Krishna. But beyond that, I also need another type of guidance to see the adversities as serious blessings of Krishna. Seriously. When Krishna is seriously loving us, sincerely, really, really thinking about to offer his best to us, he really puts us in most adverse situation where you do not have anything and anyone to look after. Like for example, I was just telling to some devotees recently that how Krishna loves me so much. I had such attachments, such weird attachments, that I will not take food from anywhere else other than ashram. And Krishna made me so humble that I have to practically, oh please, please, I don't want to remain hungry, that the doctor has said not to remain hungry, and ashram, I am not getting proper food and prasadam, please, oh devotees, please give me some. Really, Krishna put me on my knees. Oh, please, please bless me with some prasadam. Really, Krishna made me beggar. While I was taking in ashram, I was not feeling like a beggar. Rather, I was thinking that I deserve the prasadam because I'm a resident of ashram. But Krishna gave such a disease that all my attachments that I deserve went away. And now I am begging. Sannyasi is a beggar. And the only thing that one sannyasi can enjoy is food. Food is the only thing that one can enjoy, nothing else. Sannyasi can go to Simla, but I went to Jaku Hanuman temple in Simla. I didn't go to the different locations, what happens in Simla. And this sannyasi, no, nothing to do there. So, he is only food. And Krishna takes away the power of digestion from a sannyasi. Then the sannyasi should understand this is the greatest blessing of Krishna. Whatever little attachments was there is gone now. Now Krishna is preparing me to leave this world and enter the spiritual world. Focus on your spiritual form. And that is trying to be devotee of my devotees in spiritual world. And aim your life coming back to me. So to see adversities as blessings is the sign of purity. And we will only obtain this purity by associating with people who are able to see that or analyze that. And we also should analyze ourselves, introspect that how this situation, adverse situation, has become a real blessing in my life. We should try to analyze ourselves. And if we fail in our analysis, we must approach people who can give us right guidance in showing us the compassionate hand of Krishna in whatever situation one puts. Yesterday I went to meet the doctor and I said that what happens to me, and the doctor said that why don't you seriously think of relocating out from Calcutta? I said it's impossible. I just can't come out of Calcutta because my Gurudev has said that stay in Calcutta. And your disease is a disease which will stay here. And this is tropical sprue. I don't know what it is, but I read some things about it. And this is a rare disease, and somehow the place has a lot of, and you are also telling that whenever you go out, you have very, very minimal symptoms about the disease. So why don't you seriously thinking to relocate? Maybe he was thinking me to be working in a company like ISKCON, and so while coming back from the doctors, I was just thinking, now I have a serious, pure devotional reasons to stay in Calcutta. And I have the greatest opportunity to please Krishna, that because doctor is telling go out of Calcutta, and if I really stay in Calcutta, then Krishna will be so pleased seeing that, oh, this person, whether he is pure or not pure, but he is struggling so much to serve my pure devotees. To see every situation, to see every words that are coming out from anyone as words from Paramatma is the sign of purity. Without the sanction of Paramatma, no one can speak. And if someone is speaking to you, something means Paramatma has sanctioned it, and Paramatma wants you to hear it. And Paramatma knows that this is best thing for you. But because of our impurity, because of our impurities, we are not able to synchronize with the Paramatma and not able to understand how He loves us the most. How in every situation He is simply wanting us, please come back to me. You have been away for so long. You are, I am simply tired of seeing you eating these sweets of the material world. I want to feed you the sweets of Vrindavan, prepared from the best of the Sakhis of Vrindavan, Champak Lata Sakhi, who is the best sweet maker. And if you don't love sweets, if you love tikha items, then Krishna is telling you, I want that you come back and taste the wonderful spicy items prepared by Lalita Sakhi. Lalita Sakhi is Guru. Sometimes we go, Lalita, oh Visakha, please. But when Lalita Devi gives you service, until unless you have really pure heart, it's very difficult to digest the sauce of Lalita Sakhi. It's really, this is Guru. She even chastises Srimati Radharani. Just imagine, who are we? But her chastisements only bring pure love in the heart of the living entity. So that's why we need guidance. Yes, does that answer your question? Oh, you're not able to unmute because, yes, now you can unmute. Yes.
Yes, thank you.
Hari Bol, Hare Krishna. Anyone else? There are so many other questions, other hands. Now it is 8 o'clock. I have time. If you have time, we can continue, or you can put it in WhatsApp and then I can answer in the next class. Whatever.
Hare Krishna Prabhu ji, Dandavad Pranam. मेरा थोड़ा silly question है.
Oh yes.
वो जब आप 6th कैंटो के 9th चैप्टर के फर्स्ट श्लोक में पढ़ते हैं तो वहाँ पे विष्णु जो विश्व रूप है उनके 3 heads हैं.
Yes.
Right? So 3 heads, he will be looking like a demon. So he is a demigod or a demon?
No, the looks do not determine the demon or a demigod.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
about the gunas.
And second question is,
And these 3 heads is not that the 3 heads are always visible. They look really beautiful. Whenever it is required, the Ravana, it's not that every time he had 10 heads.
okay.
He was very, very handsome.
Okay.
Very, very handsome. That's how the ladies used to get cheated. That's how Ravana got so many ladies from all over the universe. That's how they got cheated. Initially they understood that he's so beautiful means his heart will be also so beautiful. And they got cheated. And then they go, oh my goodness. Oh.
And he used to drink from one mouth somras, one mouth wine, and one mouth food.
Yes.
What is the difference between somras and wine?
Somras is a intoxication in mode of goodness, and wine is an intoxication in the mode of passion and ignorance. So
Okay.
I have no information of any one of them.
Yeah.
So that is why beyond this information I cannot give. How intoxication increases passion and ignorance, but how intoxication and increase goodness, I do not have experience. So I never took.
And one more that Indra will be said Hari in one sloka. Why?
Hari?
Hari, yeah. मतलब how एक श्लोक है 6 canto के I think.
Okay, you send me the WhatsApp of that sloka. I'll.
Okay.
Hari Bol. Yes. Anyone else? Kushal Bihari Prabhu, Selja Mataji, and Madhurji. Yes. Tell Kushal Bihari Prabhu. Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you very much for that. Was again one more very wonderful class. And actually my doubt is, as you told in the class, that Srimad Bhagavatam and Krishna will manifest only when we are seeking pure devotional service.
Yes.
Or seeking, without any motive. So in our practical scenario, how we should understand that I am doing pure devotional service. Like, this is given to me, and some services are liked by me. So sometimes the liked services and the given services may not be the same, and my mind may not be very much enthusiastic about those services which I don't like. So how to understand that, how I can do pure devotional service without what is pure devotional service, first of all, whether that, what will come under the category of pure devotional service, and how to do that.
So the first thing that you're asking is that uh, if I make a distinction between I like some service and don't like some service, and then it is not pure devotional service. Pure devotional service is not devoid of emotions. Pure devotional service is having emotions. So a pure devotee has his likes. Narad Muni is doing preaching. He has his likes. Narad Muni sometimes goes and dances with Krishna, but he loves preaching. He has his likes. Bhisma Pitama has his likes. He is in Birya Ras. So pure devotional service and beyond pure devotional service is loving devotional service. So the confusion happens when we try to link pure devotional service as loving devotional service. Pure devotional service is the first stage, and the higher stage is loving devotional service. So the difference between devotional service and pure devotional service is, a devotional service, we are doing it without having knowledge that I am doing this for pleasure of Krishna. Anukullena Krishnanu. While Rupa Goswami is explaining that any activity done to give pleasure to Krishna, whether we like that activity or don't like that activity, that is pure devotional service. Now we may get pleasure out of it, that's fine. But if we simply try to do it, or even if at our stage we are not able to try to do it, if we at least and have an understanding that I am doing it for pleasure of Krishna, and in a way I also get pleasure, then it's pure devotional service. And slowly, slowly, when our emotions become more and more pure, Krishna will also reveal what type of service he wants us to do. And when we do those type of services, Krishna will also bestow a lot of success, satisfaction, so that we get reinforced in that service, because it is Krishna who wants us to do that service. Srila Prabhupada was not ready to take sannyas. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, from different dreams and angles, was telling, take sannyas, take sannyas. And Srila Prabhupada wanted to remain like that and do some preaching as he was doing. So similarly, Krishna and Srila Prabhupada loved preaching like anything. Yes, Srila Prabhupada and preaching, they're like. And Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj is also pure devotee. He loved just to sit in one place and chant. And in the same parampara, we see Srila Prabhupada and Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur is disciple of Gaur Kishore Das Babaji. And they have very different personalities. They have very different nature and love, the way they want to express their love to Krishna. And in our stage, those emotions, spiritual emotions, are not fully developed. Material emotions overpower our spiritual emotions. But still, even with some material emotions, we are doing any activity for giving pleasure to Krishna. That is also in the level of pure devotional service. Because we are doing it upon the instructions of pure devotees. We are not doing it out of our own whim and fancy, the way we want to do it. Yes, I love preaching and I am preaching. But if I am loving preaching and I really don't know this, my love for preaching is a material emotion or a spiritual emotion. But if I associate with Srila Prabhupada, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur and then simply follow how they are preaching, then it is pure devotional service. I do not have to worry that my emotions are pure or impure or anything. But if I try to create my own ways of preaching because I love preaching, then those things need to be analyzed. It may be pure devotional service or may not be. So if I love preaching and I am not sure whether it is my love for a service is actually material or spiritual, follow the acharyas in that service. Every service will have some acharyas. If you love deity worship or doing making beautiful deity offerings in your home, and you really don't know whether you are doing the deity worship so that you really want to give pleasure to Krishna or so that others will appreciate you, that oh, nice decoration. But still, if I follow the acharyas of deity worship, our current acharyas, Janani Vash Prabhu, and also our previous acharyas, Gauridas Pandit, Raghunandan Thakur, the way they did deity worship is spectacular. It's like, so if you just follow the acharyas and not try to create my own ways of deity worship, making Krishna wear jeans and giving violin to Krishna, not flute. Krishna is bored with playing violin. If Gauridas Pandit does it and you do it, then it is pure devotional service. But if Gauridas Pandit didn't do it and you do it, it's not pure devotional service. It is simply a material emotion. So these material emotions, if it inspires us to do a particular devotional service, it can still be considered pure devotional service if we are ready to follow the acharyas of that service and not try to interfere our material emotions in trying to create some innovation in that way. Yes, that's it. Follow the acharyas. The safest way is to follow the acharyas. And even in Vrindavan, we are going to go back, we'll follow the acharyas only. We'll not become the Ashtasakhis. At least I will not become. None of you will become. And even the Ashtasakhis have their Acharya Srimati Radharani. So then why we need to worry so much? We have such wonderful acharyas who have given such wonderful purports about pure devotional service. Just follow them. Whether we are having material emotions or spiritual emotions, we must have faith that we are doing pure devotional service. Because I am not bringing my mind and trying to construe something. Yes? Does that answer your question?
Yes, Prabhuji, but sometimes we may have to say no to some services, or sometimes really because maybe some genuine reason, and sometimes devotees say, I may say, I don't like this service, I want this service, that service, I choose in that. So that creates a lot of management problems also for the organizing services.
There is no management problem. My experience of management is done by Krishna. Sometimes if a devotee is trying to do deity worship and he wants not to do now deity worship and go and do preaching, if the management is worried that what will happen for deity worship, they do not have faith on Krishna. They must simply pray that, oh Krishna, if you really feel that this devotee wants to do preaching and and please inspire someone else to come and volunteer. And if the managers become humble in front of all the devotees, Krishna will inspire some other devotee to raise hand for doing the deity worship. I have personally seen it. I have seen management in Kharagpur as the overall coordinator, and I have seen management in Calcutta, and management in Calcutta is really, really tough. So, none of the services, like so many devotees came here to Gosala and we were wondering what will happen to Radha Govind's services. Actually, we are seeing every festival, Radha Govind's services are like blooming and blooming like anything. Anything. And then we were wondering if ISKCON, Calcutta, we have given devotees to so many temples. So many temples. ISKCON Pune, we have given devotees, brahmacharis to so many temples. Pune is flourishing, those temples are flourishing. And many of the devotees who have gone have expressed their personal desire to go. They went to those places and they found that these places, they have some contacts and they can do nice preaching, and then they expressed to the management that I want to go to these places for preaching. It is I have a lot of contacts and the preaching is growing, we can have a nice temple. And management gave them blessings, and without even thinking what will happen, and we have seen that this place also flourished and that place flourished. And those places where management became critical, that no, you are becoming a drohi of our temple, you have been trained here and you are, and then actually the relationships become so difficult. Then this temple has problem and that temple has problem. So as managers, we must have serious faith on Krishna, that it is Krishna who is managing the temple. As fund collectors collecting fund for the temple, we must have serious faith that it's Krishna who is giving us funds. Sometimes we get so obsessed that it is my endeavors who is doing all the managing the services. And then we become very critical on the inspiration of the devotees. Maybe that devotee is having material inspiration. Maybe. But just because that devotee is having material inspiration for switching from one service to another service or denying some service, that doesn't mean that I as a manager will also have a material inspiration. I must see him as a sadhu and consider him as his spiritual inspiration and try to facilitate. That's the meaning of a manager. Management means that we do not analyze everyone's emotions and all as material emotions. अरे आपको ये सेवा मिला, आप ये सेवा करना चाहते हैं, ये नहीं करना चाहते हैं. Management means that we consider everyone as pure devotees, and everyone who is being inspired by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and we should try our level best to facilitate and become humble. If the managers become humble in front of all the devotees, that you see this devotee wants to do preaching and he's doing nice preaching and he was doing deity worship, we beg, if please anyone can volunteer, all devotees will come together and volunteer for deity worship, so that this devotee goes for preaching. But if this manager tells that this devotee is having a material desire, he is not surrendered to the management of the temple and the management of the ashram, he is having his independent, individual desires other than the desire of the temple, and it may be true, but that will not inspire right motivations in that person. But if the person is able to see Because every person knows whether the desire is a material or spiritual. But if the person sees how that other person is responding my material desire in a very spiritual way, that will inspire him to become spiritual. So management has no problem. In spiritual world, there is no management problem because Brinda Devi has full understanding that the entire management is done by Krishna. I am simply a puppet. And if Krishna is inspiring Champaklata Sakhi to not cook sweets today, that is simply the desire of Krishna and inspiration of Champaklata Sakhi, and there will be someone other Sakhi who wanted to cook sweets today, and Krishna will send. And if there is no one who comes for cooking sweets, it is Krishna's desire that he doesn't want to take sweets. Or it is Krishna's desire that I as a manager cook sweets for him. So, to be a manager means to be having full faith that we are not managers. We are facilitators and Krishna is the real manager. And if anyone becomes a manager with this mood, he will surely give so much of shelter to devotees, so much of shelter, so much of inspiration. He will never become critical about that this devotee is having simply material desires. He is not surrendered. Right? So if you are a manager and he is the person who is not wanting to do a service from this service, he wants that service only, and it is really a material desire, it is the responsibility of the manager to respond in such a way that his material desires become a spiritual desire. Then you are a manager or a leader. A leader is one who inspires through his example in helping the person transform his or her material desires and express them in the most spiritual way. And as parents, we are leaders of our family. Sometimes our kids may tell us that I want this, I want that, I want to have this type of career. And as parents, we must try to facilitate, not thinking, oh, this is just his material desire. We must try to facilitate and try to give channel to it so that it becomes a very, very nice offering to Krishna. Yes? Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji.
Yes, we have last 5 minutes and I don't know, we should go, or maybe last 2 questions we can take next week. You please send me WhatsApp so that you remember the question, and then I will also remember to answer them next week. Okay? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Shri Krishna Bhagavan ki, Shri Vritrasura Leela ki, Srimad Bhagavad Mahapuran ki, Nitai Gaur Premanande. Hari Hari Bol.